And I'm going to let Kristine take it away.
Hi everyone. So I'm Kristine. I'm a local runner in the area. I've done a couple marathons. I ran in college. But also I'm a registered dietitian and I work at one of the hospitals around here. So I've been involved with nutrition and sports nutrition for a really long time. I was on a 25-girl cross-country team for 4 years of college, and that alone brought up a lot of interesting nutrition talk. So experience I've got, and as well as the knowledge. A lot of people aren't sure the difference between a dietitian and like a nutritionist. A dietitian has to do 4 years at an accredited school that gets judged by the Academy and National Organization every couple of years to make sure that that school is right for doing the right programs and all of that for becoming a dietitian. Then you have to get into an internship. 50% who apply don't get in because there's not enough internships for the kind of students that we have who want to be a dietitian. After a year-long internship at a hospital, doing lots of different clinical things, you can take the test. You pass the test, you're a dietitian. Every 5 years, you have to submit 75 hours of continuing education credits. Otherwise, you have to retake the test because I'm sure you guys all know that nutrition changes every single day. So we have to continue to learn every single day despite the fact that we're out there working and doing the nutrition thing. We still have to be going to lectures. We're always students of nutrition. So, with all of that, I just wanted to let you guys know that this talk is, very informal. I have topics, but I don't want anyone to forget questions that maybe they came here thinking I want to ask specifically about this. So, as we get rolling, if you have a question, you can raise your hand. We'll stop. We're going to cover that topic. Usually what I find is the stuff that I want to talk about, we will cover throughout answering questions. We'll jump from tangent to tangent. As long as we're talking about nutrition, we can keep going on tangents, and we'll hopefully get everyone's questions answered. And then, of course, you can email me or set up an appointment or a number of different avenues we can take if you want to continue this nutrition talk after tonight. So a lot of people saw the handouts over there. A big one that I pretty much start off with anybody who has a question about nutrition is the My Plate plan. So we used to have the food pyramid. It was a little confusing. They decided to switch to a plate because we know what those are. And the idea is that you build a healthy plate. So in the top corner, there's a plate. Half of your plate should always be fruits and vegetables at every meal. A quarter proteins and a quarter grains. There can only be one plate. But it teaches portion control. It teaches you, essentially, if you have this kind of plate at 3 meals a day, you'll likely be hitting all the recommendations for fruits, vegetables, whole grains, proteins, that sort of thing. So I tell people the way it works for portion control with this plate idea is when we go to Olive Garden, a quarter of our plate is not grains. It's the whole plate. You get a lemonade, you get some breadsticks, you get a cheesecake. It's just carb heavy when you go to Olive Garden. And when you go to a steakhouse, quarter of your plate is not protein. In fact, they tend to give you your sides on different plates, which breaks the first rule of the plate is that you can only have one. And in the top hand corner, there is dairy. I'm not against dairy. I absolutely love dairy. I'm a huge fan of dairy. But a fun fact about this is that the U.S. Dairy Association kind of paid them to put that there. It doesn't have to be in there. You don't have to have dairy every day as long as you have something every day that meets your calcium and vitamin D guidelines, something that's an alternative to make sure those bones are strong. You're good. It doesn't have to be dairy. So a lot of people have questions about running and nutrition. The most important thing about running and nutrition is that you're eating enough. I don't know if anyone's seen the recent news about Mary Kane's big article and the news about the Nike Oregon project, but the idea is that a lot of people who probably didn't have the right qualifications or the right knowledge had a lot of interesting ideas about specific women and their weight and running and size and no idea how to get there or what's appropriate or how it works. A lot of young girls go into the running world and even doctors sometimes think that it's okay to not have a period and it's okay if you lose weight because you have to be tiny to race and run fast. And there's a lot of connections between not eating enough and getting a stress fracture. It's pretty much all connected. There's a small portion that has to do with overuse, but it's all nutrition in your body. It's holistic. Getting enough sleep, getting enough to eat, getting enough calcium and vitamin D, and taking care of your body. So, any questions thus far? Okay. So, a lot of people choose running because they want to go and be healthy. Maybe they want to lose weight. They want to take care of their bodies. And a lot of people will ask me, well, I eat all these bad things. How do I be good? Do I count my calories? Do I need someone to walk around the grocery store and slap unhealthy food out of my hand? Or I love cookies and cake, and am I not allowed to ever have those again? What I always tell people is, I use this because this helps me, because I love all that junk food. Everyone loves that junk food, and you should be able to have it. And the only bad thing about it is when it fills you up and keeps you from eating the good stuff. So if you ever notice you're really, really hungry, your body's going to create something really high in calories, really high in fat, because it knows that the quicker the better. Get it in there because we're starving to death. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? So you eat those things and then you get full. And then you don't want to have fruits or vegetables or whole grains because you had a donut for breakfast and a cheeseburger for lunch, and it just goes on and on. And I'm speaking from experience myself. So it's more like going into your day, planning ahead, using this as your shopping list. Okay, what are my good proteins that I'm going to put in my cart? What are my good fruits and vegetables that I'm going to put in my cart? What am I going to have for breakfast? If it's 2 o'clock and you have to have 5 fruits and vegetables in a day, and you haven't had one, you've got a rough night ahead of you. You've got a lot of catching up to do. So you got to plan ahead. Like, okay, I'm going to have 2 fruits at my breakfast meal and my oatmeal or my smoothie. I'm going to have one as a snack and an apple in between at work. I'm going to have a salad. I'm going to kick out all my veggies at once. Dinner's going to be awesome because I'm going to kick out all those other things. I'm going to have nothing but protein and grains and chicken Alfredo for dinner. And so it's all about planning and getting those good things in. And then you get all the good things in and you're like, well, I'm running a ton and I'm still hungry. And I check everything off my list. So I can have whatever I want. At least that's the way I like to live. And the funny thing about that is, I never check off my whole list. So I'm always sitting there staring at the apple and staring at the cake, and I'm like, well, I got 4, close enough. But it's just an everyday, you start from scratch, and you say, I care about my body, I want to fuel it, I want to feel good, I want to be happy, and that's how you're going to get there. Studies are actually starting to find that very small micronutrients that we don't care about, like we watch levels of iron, we can watch levels of vitamin D and different things like that, but riboflavin and all these tiny little nutrients that we get in our fruits and vegetables, we're starting to notice that they affect our sleep, they affect our mood. People are less stressed, they're less anxious, they have, more calm, less mood swings, things like that, when they're actually not nutrition in B12 or B6 or folate or things that you don't check when you go to the doctor and get a regular metabolic panel. So there's a lot that goes into eating healthy. It helps with your sleep, which helps with your running, which helps with your recovery, which makes you run faster, which makes you want to keep eating faster, eating well. So, any questions now? No questions. Okay. So what if you're super dedicated to your new weight loss goals, and you are going to run so much, and you're also going to diet, eat nothing but salads, and you're going to lose all the weight in 2 weeks because you have a fun event coming up and you want to show everyone how much weight you lost. So, from what I just discussed a little bit earlier, what happens when we don't eat enough, we get injured. So, there's also the idea of when your body's in starvation mode, it's not going to let you lose that weight. It kind of goes back to the beginning of life as we know it, when we're cavemen, we said, okay, it's winter, and now I haven't had any food, or not the kind of food that I had over the summer, because there's not a lot around, and I just gotta hunker down, and your body is just holding on to everything it has with everything it has. So the idea of doing a fad diet, or doing a cleanse, or doing something where it goes on for a month, and you starve, and then it's fine, because you lost the weight, and you keep doing that, you go back, and you go back. Your body will just get worse and worse at holding on to that weight. Because this is, I know what's about to happen. It's about to be that month again, where you don't eat, and I hate it, and I need to hold on to every fat cell because you are going to try to starve me out. And I'm going to live. Bodies are really smart. We're not. Okay, so the idea behind that. If you want to lose weight, the idea is to only lose about a pound or 2 a week. What I found is even 2 pounds isn't really realistic for a week, unless you're like right at the beginning of it and it's feeling great and it's working great. You usually kind of stay down to about a pound a week. But 1 pound is 3,500 calories of foods not eaten. So say you need 2,000 calories a day, you have 500 calories less. You have 1,500 calories a day. 500 times 7 days in a week, you get a pound, 3,500 calories. You can't do it in a day because most people don't eat 3,500 calories. So don't get mad if you didn't lose a pound in a day because you would have had to starve yourself and run like 15 miles. Any questions on that?
What are your feelings on eating back exercise calories?
Eating what?
Eating back your exercise calories that you burned?
Right. So that's what the body wants to do. So say you need 2,000 calories a day. That's how much your body needs to get up, move around a tiny bit, work through its normal processes, and go to bed and start all over again. I'm not saying that's what you need. That's, theoretically someone needs 2,000, let's say. So you eat 2,000, feel great, and then you go and run and you burn 500. So now you're at a calorie deficit of 500 for the day, which is right in line with your weight loss goal. I'm going to go down 500 a day so I can lose a pound a week. Body doesn't like that. It's a deficit. It's a calorie deficit. We're not supposed to be burning fat. We're not supposed to be losing weight. We're supposed to be staying alive. Losing weight is the opposite of staying alive. So you're going to want to eat. You're going to want to eat back those calories. And that's where it's kind of hard. One thing I can say is that fruits and vegetables, whole grains, water, those are all fiber and water pretty much, is what those things are made of. It fills you up, makes you feel not satisfied, but it takes a lot of chewing to eat all those fruits and vegetables. I always tell people if you're actually going to eat 5 fruits and vegetables a day, you are not going to want to eat anything else because you're going to be exhausted from chewing all those. But it tends to help people because you feel the energy of having all that water. Sometimes that's what we really want after we run. You think you're really hungry, and maybe you are a little hungry, but you're also dehydrated, and you have something that has a good water content. Like maybe you have a milkshake that has a lot of water in it. And it tastes like the most amazing thing in the world. You think, I'm going to have that after every run. Big old McDonald's milkshake because it was amazing. Well, maybe you should have 16 ounces of water beforehand and see how you feel about it. Different kind of things like that. Just understanding your body, understanding where those feelings are coming from, understanding what you need. If you finish a run and you're like, I'm going to eat back all those calories, it's going to happen again. Those donuts, those apple cider donuts are staring me in the face. But I am down on my fruits. I'm going to eat this apple. After I eat this apple, I'm going to eat the donut. Maybe you'll finish the apple and it'll be like 20 minutes later of chewing. And you'll be like, okay, I'm going to take a shower instead.
What do you take on chocolate milk after races? Like, that seems so popular, but I don't get it because I always feel like, all right, would you ever drink a regular glass of milk and a chocolate bar after a race? So why is it chocolate milk? It's supposed to be the protein.
There's a science behind it. So one, there's a ratio of the perfect recovery for protein to carbs. It's a 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio. So regular milk, I think is like, it's 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 carbs to protein. But you add some chocolate in there, now it's 4. You get a little bit more sugar, a little bit more carbs. So you have the one, it's the perfect carb to protein ratio for recovery for your muscles. You want to do that within a 45-minute window of some heavy muscle work, because that's how your muscles recover, is you feed them immediately afterwards. It's also got a great water content, and there's a lot of chemical reactions going on with the vitamin D, the calcium, the water, the phosphorus, and the potassium. All those nutrients are working together to help a lot of cellular functions, a lot of healing, a lot of recovery, hydration, and bone health.
And isn't chocolate milk usually low-fat milk? Do they mix it up that way?
Yeah. I think there's skim and low fat, and you might be hard-pressed to find a whole milk. I grew up around dairy farmers, so I have absolutely no problems with whole milk. You do need fat, and sometimes full-fat dairy is the best way to get fat in your diet and not feel too bad about it. There has been studies about when you need to take vitamin D supplements. Everyone here in the Northeast doesn't get a lot of vitamin D, like 9 months from the sun, 9 months of the year. So unless we're consuming it, a lot of people are likely vitamin D deficient. and that can be the same thing as iron deficiency. You feel tired, you feel sluggish, but it puts you at a higher risk for having a stress fracture. So there's a lot of info about vitamin D supplements when you need to take some to get up on your game if eating vitamin D isn't going to be enough because you're already down. And the idea is that you should always take your vitamin D supplement with a really fatty meal, your fattest meal, or your biggest meal of the day. You should likely have some fat. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, the best source of vitamin D is milk. And whole milk is really fatty. So we really dissected this from, vitamin D is good for you if you take it with some fat, but why don't we just have some milk? Even 2%. It's a pretty fatty drink. Maybe it's good for you. Jury's out. Anything else?
I like to run in the morning. Is it better for me to have a bowl of cereal or something like that, wait a little while, go for the run, or just go for the run and then fuel up?
It doesn't matter. It's whatever works for you. If you're finding that you don't eat a lot after you run and you're losing weight or you're having crazy cravings at work, maybe that's something you want to change, but as long as you feel good about it and you feel like your body's doing fine, you feel healthy, there's nothing wrong with that. I personally run in the morning and I don't eat beforehand because I have a weak stomach. But I eat a lot after and I'm working on that. There has been some, I have a book out there, it's pretty much like my Bible. It's a really, really smart sports dietitian. She has multiple books. If this is a topic you're really interested in, I recommend reading that book yourself, getting a copy. There's a lot of great stuff in there. She talks about more like elite distance runners who are doing a lot of mileage. They're going to need that energy if they're going to go out and run 20 miles. That you might not be able to skip breakfast on, but the idea for her is kind of the opposite of what the dieters might say, is eat a lot right before bed. Have a big snack after your dinner, right before bed, you can go to sleep. The idea behind dieting is it sits in your stomach, you digest it, you gain weight, extra calories, this and that, but for runners, you have all this energy when you run in the morning, even though you skip breakfast, because it's just been sitting there ready. So it's kind of a fun little fact. She also has a whole thing about eating pie for breakfast.
I love pie.
I'll find the book.
305 calories, fat, carbs, protein, substantial, way better than skipping breakfast. You should definitely have some kind of breakfast. You should definitely have at least 3 meals a day, or that whole raising phase. Small, frequent meals, 3 meals, 5 snacks. Not yet. 3 meals, 2 snacks. Equals 5. 5 snacks. That's fine too. I'm not gonna stop you. All right.
I have another one. So none of on here has anything to do with what you eat while you run most of the time, unless you're taking apples or bananas. Where does gels and booze and stuff like that fit into this?
So, my opinion on when you're running, there's nothing bad that you can eat if it fits in your stomach and it goes okay. I'm not going to say, oh, well, don't eat that because it's bad for you if you're running while you're eating it. It's absolutely negates it. So whatever really works. Gels you have to take with water. They're going to sit in your stomach like crazy. You got to start eating before you start running. You got to have that blood flow moving in your stomach. So what you'll find is if you have something without any water content, like a gel, and you've already been running for an hour, all the blood flow is left your stomach because, hey, we don't need that right now. You're running, we're surviving. We're probably running from something dangerous. That's what our body thinks. So digesting is not important. And then you have a gel and it sits in your stomach and they say, I do not know what to do with this. And you try to have some water and it's like, okay, but there's no blood flow. We don't know what to do with this still. So take some sips at every mile when they have the water stations. Have something before you start. Practice doing that before the race itself or anything important like that. And then just whatever fuel works for you. Depending on your body, you probably don't need to fuel on races that are like a 5K, depending on how fast you are, a 10K. I think the rule of thumb is like over an hour, you might want to start fueling, but it's up to your body. I've definitely seen people like chugging Gatorade in a 5K in 50-degree weather. That's a lot of sugar. I don't know if it's really necessary, but it's up to you. It's how you feel. You're the runner. It's your body. It's your race. Whatever works. Don't let anyone tell you different. Did you have a question?
Did you find that there are different nutritional needs for sort of low mileage runners versus high mileage runners? That sort of shifted over the years and it's always very low mileage, and now it's sort of gone more high mileage, long distance. Are there different nutritional needs based on your?
I'd say like a little bit. Low mileage is just the nutritional needs of any person because most people should be exercising that much every day. You know, low mileage is, you know, an hour or less of running every day, and that's what is recommended for physical activity of any sort for every person. So that's a normal diet. There is a lot of studies that say if you're an ultramarathoner, if you're a marathoner, if you're out there doing crazy high mileage, your percentage of carbs in your diet should be higher. You know, good healthy carbs. But the idea, I think, for most runners or people is maybe somewhere around 50% of your calories should be from carbohydrates, and you'll see that on here, like it's a very high amount of carbs they want you to have every day. And then you get to like up to 60% if you're running a lot of miles. So just more carbs, and you'll find that you're hungry, you want that energy. You know, there's nothing terribly wrong with keto, but it's just the idea of knowing that your brain only accepts carbs. You know, for fuel, your body can break down fats into energy just fine. Protein, it won't do. That's not energy. Never will be. But fats, yeah, they can do that. So keto works until you have literally no glycogen in your brain. And if you've ever been running for a really long time, and you start to say, I can't do math. I thought it was 4 miles to go, but I did the math wrong, and it's actually 7, and I don't know why that was so hard for me. It's because your brain's not working. It's using all that glycogen for your muscles. So that's what happens when we don't eat enough carbs. That's what happens. Our brain refuses to go without them. So the idea of keto isn't terrible as long as you're still having some carbs, but the name keto comes from ketoacidosis, which is the state of your brain that basically goes into a coma and shuts down because that has no sugar. It won't take the fats, it won't take the protein. Does that answer your question? Alright. Any other questions?
So I feel like I'm pretty good on pre-run fueling, but there's a lot to learn about recovery fueling. So if I have my long run, let's say on a Sunday, and I'm doing a pretty good job the day before, making sure I get my carbs and whatever, and then the long run I'm fueling throughout or whatever, then Monday I kind of go back to normal. And I'm hearing that maybe there should be more emphasis on what I'm eating the day after the run in order to make sure I'm recovering properly.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that. I mean, I haven't heard anything against it either, but that's very interesting. I mean, I think every day is the same, you know, after a long run, you know, there's a lot of those calories you might want to get back. You might want to get, you know, basically some carbs back in you, but you still want to hit your day. Right. And I would imagine the day after that, you'd still want to hit your day. Right. Now, I'm wondering if maybe it's because you're not going to get back to your normal calories. Like, say you run 20 miles and you burn, like, 2,000 calories. It's going to be really hard to eat 4,000, 5,000 calories in a day after spending like 2 or 3 hours running, as it was, not eating very much. So sometimes the next day, you'll find you're also very hungry still. Your body's playing catch up. So it might be in that sense, just trying to get back those glycogen stores, getting back some carbs, getting back the energy. So, I mean, if you're finding that you ran 15 to 20 miles a day before and were really hungry the next day, I would suggest eating. You know, it sounds like you're hungry, you should eat. Right?
Yeah, I was just saying that because, like, after a long run, I might lose 4 or 5 pounds on that run. But then it takes a long time. Like, you don't recover all that in one day. It takes a few days.
Yeah, like in my case, I actually don't feel like eating very much after my run. My stomach gets upset. We have that whole blood flow, and that's very personal. Like, that depends on the person. You know, some people might be able to eat anything when they run and eat anything after. Like, I have to recover. So I eat a lot in the 2 days following. But the weight loss you're seeing could also be from fluid, mostly fluid, probably. And that's actually something you want to, the opposite of like you don't want to eat back your calories if you're trying to be healthy or lose weight, you want to drink back those fluids. Fluids and electrolytes, right? Because you lost salt, you lost sweat. So actually in college, in running in the summer, we did weigh ourselves. The only time the girls seemed to weigh themselves, they weighed themselves before they went for their run, and they weighed themselves without all those sweaty, heavy clothes on afterwards. Okay, I lost 4 pounds. Every pound is 16 ounces of fluid. So now you have to drink 4 16-ounce fluid drinks of electrolytes, water, what have you, and then you're back to your normal, okay, I need 8 glasses a day or something like that. So the fluid is really important, and a lot of people do feel hunger from the fluid, so I'm glad you brought that up. Anything else?
When you're a pregnant runner, she's so busy. Are your calories when you run just based on your like new weight, or is it even more like complicated than that?
I'm not sure.
I think it's more complicated.
I think it's pretty complicated, and I think that not a lot of people have done studies about it. So you should just jot all this down and let your doctor know that you did all this research about yourself. But I would imagine like you're carrying a heavier weight, so it's kind of like, you know, if you strapped on a weighted vest while you were running and you said, okay, how many calories did I burn? I would imagine you burned.
You could just do it based on your changing weight. But
Yeah.
maybe,
Well, I mean, you're carrying a heavier weight, so maybe instead of 100 calories, you burn 300 calories, you know, in a mile or something like that, whatever the math is. So then you might want to make up more because you're carrying it more. But then I don't know at what point your muscles adjust, you know, to that weight because you're carrying it all the time.
and then it's
Yeah, and then you don't have to study much. It gets worse. Anybody else?
I have 2 questions that are probably related, but do you have any comments or insight on like veganism in runners, and then also like any supplements that runners should or should not be taking?
I'm gonna start with the supplement one.
Okay.
So,
That might like be different for a vegan
Yeah.
as opposed to
yeah, so, I mean, you want to go to your doctor. You want to trust your doctor. You want to go in with some knowledge, though, and say, okay, I need to make sure that I have enough iron. I got to make sure I have enough vitamin D. If you're feeling like there's something going on with you, and you're like, maybe I should take a supplement. I don't think I'm getting enough of something. Something's wrong with me. Go to your doctor, get some blood tests, figure it out, see what he recommends, and they would hopefully recommend a supplement if you needed one. And then you'll take it. The idea behind a lot of people who are anemic or who have, you know, low vitamin D is it's not just running through their blood low, it's that their stores are now low or out. So, you know, your stores are high, they're full, and it's running through your blood because you just ate a bunch of good stuff and you don't need it. So then you don't need it, maybe you switch to vegan and you just eat whatever, Oreos and things that are vegan that aren't good for you, but it's not, you know, meat or dairy. And you're fine at first because it's not running through your blood, but you're like, oh, yeah, all these stores, we'll just use those. And we'll use those and we'll use those, and a couple months go by and all of a sudden you don't feel good. So, I did that. I switched to being vegan months ago. It can't be that. You go to the doctor, they say you're low, and you say, okay, well, I'll just start taking a supplement, or I'll just start eating some iron. They're like, oh, well, you need to take a big supplement because you need enough to get you through the day, you're going to use it all up, and then you got to have some extra. So you're like, oh, I'll store this away. And you start to store it away, and then your stores get full, and then you're good again. But until that point, you know, it's a long process. So a lot of people who find out that they're vitamin D deficient, maybe they have a stress fracture, they have to take these giant vitamin D pills. And people who are anemic will sometimes have to take giant iron pills that don't sit well in your stomach. Or maybe you decide to go vegan, you know that you're good, but you know that there's going to be some foods that you're just not going to hit. You don't like almond milk, you don't like the fake yogurt things, you don't like soy, you know that you're probably not going to get enough calcium and vitamin C, vitamin D, you're going to take a supplement. You don't need to take those giant supplements, you still have a full store, you're just maintaining every day, making sure you're getting enough. But there's nothing wrong with being a vegan, it's just more work. You know, we have all these options of where to get all the vitamins and minerals that we need, and they have very few options, but it's also very healthy, you know, because it limits a lot of the unhealthy things that we like to eat, you know, and it keeps us from overeating those things. Everything in moderation is fine. I'm not saying you can't go to McDonald's, I'm just not saying you should go to McDonald's every week. You know, vegans are like, I can never go to McDonald's again. That's awesome. I still like to go sometimes. I wish I had that kind of control. So, you know, the jury's out for how healthy you can be and how fast you can run for what choices that you make. That's all up to you. I had something about that. I don't know what it was though. Any questions?
This thing is that you were saying too, sometimes after a long run, you're really not ready to eat, and I find that as well. If I do a short workout and I have a few miles, I'm ready to eat in 5 minutes and I'll eat whatever, like a burger or a shake.
Yeah.
But if I do a long run, I do find that I am really, and I do make sure that I consume something within 45 minutes or so. But I'm not usually eat for a lot longer after, and not just because of the amount of time where the blood has kind of gone away from some digestion.
It's just you going back. What I found, and I'm thinking it might be from that book that I had over there, I've just known it for so long now, is that you can digest liquids so much easier than you can food. Like you can get a lot of liquid calories in there really quick on an upset stomach and not be upset about it. It's kind of the whole reason we have an obesity problem in America is because of the excess calories in the Starbucks drinks and the sodas. You know, you can drink 1,000 calories and not feel full at all, where you could never eat that much calories of like cake, which is like essential, like I think liquid cake, soda. But I found in that sense that having a milkshake, and I mean there's even a tough summer of college training where I had to have like a milkshake or a smoothie of some sort that I made after my runs because I couldn't stomach anything else with that heat in that long hard run. And I'd actually like put oatmeal in it because it could go down and I was fine. You know, and I did it all out. I did the science. I was a student of nutrition. I was like, okay, this is an 800 calorie shake or a 600 calorie shake, so I'm good for a little while. So it doesn't matter. So that might work for a lot of you. Liquid calories usually help with the digestion. Maybe it's something to do with the water. Maybe I should just drink more water.
Since you're on digestion, what about pre-race so you don't have digestion issues during the race?
Okay, like eating before a race.
Yeah, like stuff in your stomach that just doesn't work while you're running. It's like it won't settle and you get into the run and you're like, my stomach is just not right.
I'm not sure what you can do at that point. Because I've been at that point and I didn't know what to do. But I think beforehand it's just a test of yourself. You know, like I said, a lot of people are fine. You just have to learn what works and what doesn't work. You know, introduce things slowly. If you're going on a long run and you want to find out if having this big bowl of oatmeal is going to work on race day and you do it before a long run.
Trial and error.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think that before a race you should have a huge meal at dinner the night before. But if you're banking on not having a lot of breakfast, don't be afraid to eat, you know, and fill up quite a bit because maybe you'll use those calories in the morning. And just get up as early as possible to make sure everything moves the way it's got to move in time.
So what will you eat after you do a marathon, like in the next 48 hours? Like, do you have is there something like you need to eat, or do you like, okay, this is
It's a really rough 48 hours for me. And to be completely honest, like after a marathon, everyone wants to party and have fun, and I'm just sitting there drinking water going, any minute now I'm going to be okay and I can have a beer. I'm not going to throw it up. But yeah, it's just eating whatever works for me until I feel okay again. And then, you know, you might want to play catch up, but it's just at that point, 48 hours, 2 days, 3 days, you just go back to basics. You take what you can get out of it. So for me, it's my stomach is just an angry monster that feeds me. So I'll just try to eat eventually when it comes. I'm just thinking about
do you stick to bland food?
yeah. It's you know, I think I actually had like the world's biggest bowl of tortilla chips and salsa after my last marathon because it worked. It was fresh, there was a lot of water, and it was like nice digestible, easy carbs. You know, the corn tortilla chips, there's nothing, it's like the opposite of eating healthy. You don't want some dense protein and hard grain of quinoa, like just something, you know, like some toast and tea.
And the night before, like, I mean, I definitely have a routine of what I did, but I'm just curious, like, you know, because you see that in the B12, like, to sleep better. Like, the night before the race, I marathon, I know you run marathon, it's not easy, and so I'm sort of like, do you try to eat turkey like those things that they always say make you sleepy?
No, I didn't think about tryptophan.
I've never done it. Like,
supplementation before the night, but now I am thinking about that.
Sorry, I'm
You're just
fine.
buying
I
a
always
hack
just learn it out, but I'm always like, I wonder if anyone does that.
It's so interesting. I probably want to do that now. I'll let you guys all know what happens. Probably just be like throwing up turkey. So you guys know about the whole carb loading, you know, a little bit. You've heard about it at least. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about carb loading. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about the science behind it, which isn't as renowned and amazing. Like, we did the science and you have to do it. They did the science and like, yeah, it helps a little. No big deal. So the idea of carb loading isn't, I'm a runner, I eat all the carbs all the time. I have a race tomorrow morning, I'm going to eat the world's biggest bowl of pasta tonight. Doesn't really work that way. So you want to, maybe you're a distance runner, maybe you're having 55, 60% of your calories from carbs every day, so you're already, your glycogen stores are working and everything's going the way it should. And then, and I am not totally accurate on the science, maybe the week before, like you're looking at 7 days before. For 3 or 4 days, until about 3 or 4 days before, you're actually not having a lot of carbs. And you kind of go against it. You go, no carbs for a little while, my marathons in a week, and your glycogen store is like, hey, what the heck? We're supposed to get carbs. This is how this works. And you're tapering, so it's okay. And then, a couple days before, you ramp up those carbs, even more than you ever did before. And your glycogen stores, which are starved and empty, are like, yes, get all the carbs. And they load up like crazy because they're like, I don't know what this girl's going to do again. She might just start not eating carbs again tomorrow. So I'm going to take them all. And that's carb loading. It's like 3 days of eating good, healthy carbs. Yeah.
So I, when I had an article recently about carb loading, they were a little uncertain, but they said about typically 3 to 4 days of no carbs, and then it holds on to everything.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And then you start having them again and suck them all up, and that's carb loading. But it's not the night before. And it's, it's not a big bowl of pasta. It's just, making your plate and adding an extra serving of carbs at every single plate. Doubling it up.
You said it just makes a little bit of a difference, not a huge difference.
Who knows? Maybe for you, it's going to make a huge difference. But everybody's body is different. So when it comes to running science and nutrition science, we don't know because we're finding that everybody's metabolism and their body and the way it works is so different. And I can train in a different way for a year, and everything that I do is going to start being different and affect me differently because now I'm a different person and I'm training differently. So all of the science is really just based on what works for you.
And what about, it's a very difficult question, but let's say you have a particular medical issue that affects your digestion, your food and everything. It's obviously it's very individual how you plan that, what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, and I'll sit here and say, you need 2,000 calories a day, and you can't go on a 1,200 calorie diet because you'll go into starvation mode, and then someone will come up and they'll say, my metabolism is insanely slow. I tried, and it was when I ate 1,200 calories a day that I finally started to lose weight. That's, I know that I'm supposed to have more, but that's what it takes, and that's where it's working for me, and I feel okay, and I'm losing weight. It's the metabolism, the digestion is different for everybody. But
I'm like the opposite of that. Like I said, I've been running now for 6 months or so, seriously, and I've lost 20 pounds over that time, but I didn't reduce the amount, I probably increased how much I ate in that time. So.
Good, so it worked really well for you.
Yeah.
That's nice. Another topic I just wanted to go over briefly, and I've kind of gone over it, is just the idea of fad diets or eating organic or being vegan or this and that. When you're looking up information, because there's a lot of great information about nutrition out there, you don't need to ask me, you can Google it and you will find some answers. Just make sure that you're looking at the right sources. Not every article is going to say if it was written by a dietitian or not, but Warner's World has dietitians write all their nutrition articles, so that's always backed by evidence-based science. And just kind of look into what they're saying on there, what they're kind of toting. Anytime a diet or somebody is telling you to take out an entire food group because it's evil and that's the thing, that's wrong. You need all these food groups. Anytime they're telling you to never have certain things, that's wrong. There's nothing wrong with cake. You just shouldn't have it every day. And anytime they're telling you that eating one thing is going to give you cancer or be the reason that you aren't healthy and you're a bad person is wrong. So the idea that if you don't eat organic, you're gonna get cancer, or you're gonna get really sick, or you're a bad mom, that's wrong. So just like, politicians will use fear to make you think, I need to elect this person because you know, the Russians are gonna come and kill us tomorrow, and he's gonna stop them. No, that's fear. We shouldn't let fear guide us. So when they try to tell you that you need to do what they're saying because it's gonna kill you if you don't, that's fear. Cake will never kill you if it loves you. Alright, so
I don't even think about cake.
sometimes it's donuts, sometimes it's pie. I love desserts, but I always pick ones and I just bring it back. It's fun. So that was my little soapbox about that.
So the science behind sugar feeds cancer cells, you're not buying it.
No, actually, I work in a hospital and I work with a lot of cancer patients, and that's unfortunately really wrong. And their studies are going back and forth. You know, they're looking into that stuff. Definitely having a diet that's really high and that stuff, you know, there's a correlation. Definitely drinking a lot of soda, you know, maybe being diabetic. There might be some correlations there, but they still haven't proved it. And especially when you have cancer and you're going through treatments, starving yourself to starve out the cancer is not going to help you. And unfortunately, we have a lot of patients that are trying to do that, or they go on these crazy vegan diets in the middle of chemo, and you don't eat, you're in a calorie deficit, your immune system goes down, you're sick, you can no longer get chemo until you get healthy again, you know, and your immune system's already down, so getting a cold when you have cancer is way worse than getting a cold when you're a normal person. So it's studies like that, yeah, you just want to look into it. But that's a little bit more back because it's something they're really looking into. But even, you know, evidence-based research, don't look at the title of the article. Don't look at like the introduction, like read the whole article, read the conclusions, because they love those titles, those clickbait titles that get you to read it. Same as politics. Anything that you're like, oh, well, this is how I learn about politics, do the same thing with learning about nutrition. Because they'll take your money for that organic carrot. They'll take your livelihood. It doesn't have to cost that much.
Can you apply the principles that you've been talking about with, you know, the snacking and the meal plans that you're planning for running to, you know, other sports that are like short bursts of activity, you know, like soccer or tennis or, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's general activity the whole time, it's the same. If you're playing soccer for an hour or you're running for an hour, if you're weightlifting for an hour, running for an hour, I mean, cardio muscles, maybe it's a little bit different, but burning calories and nutrition is all the same. And I mean, this is the government site, this is just nutrition for a normal person, but it works for everybody.
Is it 2,000 calories, is that based on 1 meal a day, 5 meals a day? Should it be 3 meals a day? Or?
It's better to do small frequent meals, like maybe 3 or 4 meals and a couple of snacks, than it is to have like 2 meals a day. And there's not like a ton of science behind that, like these specific reasons, but I always, when I'm talking to diabetics, I use the reason for why they should do it. So, you know, you want your blood sugar to stay under control. You don't have to pump out insulin like a crazy person. If you don't eat anything all day long and your blood sugar's all the way down here, then you finally at 2 o'clock have the world's biggest lunch and you're starving. You jump up here and then you don't do anything all day, and then like at 9 o'clock at night you're like, I'm sorry, and you jump up here. And if you live your life this way, with your blood sugar and your body in general, if you're starving and then eating and then starving and then eating, it's not good for your body. Like the state of shock. It don't know what's going on. It doesn't know when its next meal is coming. But if you're having small frequent meals and you're eating and your blood sugar's like this all day long, little ups, little downs, little rolling hills, kind of like how you want your run to look like. It's just better, you know, and I can't give you that exact science, but it just works better for everything. For burning those calories, for storing it, for turning it into fat when you need to turn it into fat, for using it when you want to use it instead. It works out better. So this 2,000 calories is a plan number. You can go on this site and you can say, I am this many pounds, I am this tall, I am this old, I am a woman, I run this much every day, and it'll say, this many calories, here's your plan. But you'll find that the recommended amounts are pretty much all the same. You get to like 3,000 calories of a 14-year-old boy. That's a little bit more fruits, unfortunately. Anything else? It's 7:21, we got 9 minutes.
How much stake should I put in the number of calories my watch or my Fitbit or whatever tells me I burned in a day?
How much?
Like,
Say, okay.
yeah.
None. So even in the hospital, we have like 7 different equations, being like, well, this is the equation I use when a person is kind of like this, and this is the equation. And then, when you're a really fancy, expensive, maybe like New York City hospital, you have this thing people breathe into every day, and it says how many calories they need that day. And then the next day, it's completely different, even though it's the same person. And it's never anything close to what our estimates are, our calculations use. So, we don't even know how many calories somebody needs. We have literally no idea until we use the roughing thing. Apparently that's like pretty accurate, but it costs millions of dollars. So unfortunately not everybody gets one of those.
So I shouldn't just eat 500 calories less than a full meal every day?
I mean, if you don't have an alternative option, why not?
See if it works. Me? I think it was a lot, right?
Yeah, so.
If you were a runner training regularly and you take supplements, but you're in a trough, you're feeling worn out, and it's not overtraining, but you're gonna go see your doctor. They're probably gonna do blood work. Would you give any advice about that? Should it be fasting? Should you stop taking your supplements? And is there anything they should look for? Because if a doctor's not familiar with running, they're just gonna say, oh, run less. You're doing too much, run less.
Yeah. Like B12, I don't think people look for a lot of times, and that can also be a symptom, like you can feel very lethargic when you're low in that. Pretty much like any kind of multivitamin. So you want to do a really large panel of the different nutrients that your body needs, besides just a basic. Like I'm not sure if vitamin D is even in a basic metabolic panel. It's basically just like iron and sugar. But as we get older too, like. I mean, my mother is pre-diabetic and she's much tinier than me, and she works as a janitor lifting couches all day. We have a genetic disposition, so her doctor was never going to tell her to do that, but she didn't feel good, so she told her doctor, no, you're going to give me an A1C test every 6 months. And that's how she knew. So, anybody who's feeling, different, do the fasting blood sugar, if your insurance covers it, do all the tests.
Should you stop taking your vitamins a few days before, do you think?
I don't think it would make a difference because, if that supplement that, a 1 a day isn't even going to always have 100% of your daily value, that's just running through your blood. That's a 1 day dose. If your stores are really, really low, which I'm pretty sure those blood levels look at, that's what you'll see. When they're doing the iron, they're looking at things like ferritin, and those are really, really low. So I think that it would make a difference. That's a little bit more than I usually know. Try my best.
More than the average doctor will know. They'll just tell you run less.
Yeah. I have a lot of frustrations with that.
For the full marathon, like the last 3 miles of that, what do you recommend to eat? Because at that moment,
You don't want anything.
yeah,
I mean, if you can drink something, water, or if they have like a sports drink, I mean, that you think is not going to make you sick in the next 3 miles. If a solid food isn't going to work, then drop it down to something more simple like a liquid, if that works. For me, I've also done the jelly beans. I was talking to someone about this beforehand because I can't do a whole gel at one time, but something small, or even something to suck on, and you don't have to, swallow it. I mean, there's times in races where I didn't want to chug water when it was really hot outside, but it's just thirsty, and I was like, I can't chug this much water in a race. But just wetting my mouth and then spitting it back out, which just made me feel better, and you still enjoy it a lot. So even if you can get a mint or a candy and just suck on something, you're not going to be enough to upset your stomach, but just your brain might immediately be like, yes, when you put it in your mouth. So if anyone has any other questions, I think I actually covered all of my topics. I am looking into, me and Justin are talking about maybe doing less individualized work and putting a group together in 2020 of people who are just trying to get healthy, get together once a month, we'll have topics and stuff like that. So if anybody's interested moving forward and they want to email me and let me know, I can put you on the list for when to get that information together. Because sometimes a group is just better than one-on-one work. It's nice to have some buddies.
But you do also do individual. And you take insurance?
I don't. Right?
No.